So how can reading the right books expand your understanding of a business, in this case the music business, but how do you do it in the right order, or how to really determine or kind of confirm that what you're reading is the truth or is not, or makes sense or it doesn't?
That subscribe button, please hit that notification bell. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this video. Like or dislike the video, I don't care. If you are coming back to watch me, let me know in the comments what topic you would like me to cover next. Especially if you guys help me grow this channel, as I always tell you, that's going to allow me to get more resources, in my office, to be able to provide you with more of these talks, dissection of business models, whatever it is, to help your career. So thank you again, and let's discuss today's topic.
What's going on, guys? My name is Matei, another day for Music Biz Daily. And let me kind of tell you why it's awesome that if you read, or in my case, I listen to books on Audible, books about the music industry from different people's perspectives, everything starts, kind of coming together, and you'll start to get a good kind of true picture of how the music industry really works and what to sort of expect next. Let me give you an example, right? Read a book by L.A. Reid, who mentions his relationship with Jay-Z, Def Jam, Mariah Carey, these different artists that he worked with, Kanye, and so on and so forth. Then I read multiple books about Jay-Z, which also mentioned L.A. Reid. Just almost finished reading Mariah Carey's book, which she mentions a relationship with L.A. Reid. She also mentions somebody named Doug Morris, who was the CEO of Sony Music, who's also in the book How Music Got Free, who also mentions how they used to put records out, who also mentions Daniel Ek, who's the CEO of Spotify, and how he basically created the torrent file system, which later gave him the money to form Spotify. All these different things are coming. I just gave you a few examples, right? But there's so many different books that after you read it for a while, you start to get an understanding of all these different perspectives, and you start to see the actual truth behind it. Because let's be real, if L.A. Reid writes a book, he's going to tell his story. If Mariah Carey writes her book, she's going to tell her story. They may differ in opinion on what happened, but you read it from enough perspectives, you start to get the idea or the truth of what is really going on and how the business operates and the dynamics between the relationships of these different people, right? Could they all be lying? Sure. But guess what? Because I have a lot of experience in other industries and other businesses, I've actually had big successes in other industries. I can sort of compare some of the actions, whether they're vindictive actions or positive actions or strategic actions, of all these different characters in these movies, and not characters like in a fiction type book, but in real life nonfiction. And I can sort of confirm whether or not their behaviors as business people, as artists, as revolutionaries, as software developers or whatever, if it matches the reality of at least what I went through, right? And you start piecing all these different things together, you end up with one whole puzzle, which gives you the true picture of how things actually work. So when I combine that experience from all these other people that I don't have to learn on my own, plus I combine it with my own experience and going through the gauntlet with my own money, my own artists, my own experiences, my own travels, my own business ideas, failures and successes, now that empowers me or anybody similar in my position as a business owner in the music industry and other industries and so on and so forth. So the reason I made this video, because I want to encourage you to read or listen to books by people that did it well in the industry that you're in, right? It is historical context, but it's very powerful to paint a better picture of how the music industry got to where it's at and where it's potentially going, because you learn about the thinking patterns of these different moguls that did it on the big level, and it really helps. It helps me for sure all the time. That's why I constantly listen to these type of books, and I'm never going to allow myself to waste my time, this is just my opinion, with Netflix or entertainment shows and things like that, because it's not really adding to my dream. But that's just me. You guys may be different. And look, and sometimes watching entertainment movies based on real stories, that also adds to the value of what I'm talking about, right? It doesn't always have to be a biography. It could be an autobiography. It could be a movie made by somebody else from different perspective. It all works. But the more knowledge you get in, the more perspectives you have, the better picture you can paint, right? Because I will always say, take everything with a grain of salt. So if you just read someone's book, everything they said may not be true. But you read 5 other books that reference that book that you read on different levels, guess what? Now you're starting to see what the reality of that first book might have been. I'll leave you guys with that. As always, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what type of books you guys are reading, or maybe give me suggestions for books I should be reading. I mean, I love, or in my case, listening. I love listening to new books. So, I'm gonna leave it at that. Share this video with somebody who needs to see it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another day of Music Biz Daily.